What's up guys, Vital Syntax here. Got another video on Overwatch. This time playing with Roadhog, and he is probably one of my favorite characters in the game. I'd say maybe top 5. And I've got a really cool skin for him. I'm using this time around with the the pirate cannon barrels instead of the shotgun barrels. And he's got this cool like shark I guess mask that he has over his head. You can't see it in first person, but it's a really cool skin. I love the way they did the skins in this game. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to be talking about Roadhog, his abilities, some of the combos that I've learned, some of the scenarios that I think he excels in, and some of the scenarios that I think he is probably not the best character to use. And I think I want to do a video like this for each character. Nothing specific or no set of things I'm going to talk about for each one. I just kind of want to make a video that goes over each character separately and just give my opinions on them, I guess. So for this first one, we're taking a look at Roadhog. So he is a tank, but he's not really a traditional tank. He has a lot of health because he has 600 HP, which is quite a bit. And he also has the ability to heal himself and quite a bit of health with his Take a Breather ability, which gives him 300 points of health pretty quickly. He is not mobile while he's using it. And it takes about 8 seconds to cool down, which isn't that much. Like, he can stay alive by himself without a healer pretty easily, as long as you're not running up against a ton of enemies, and as long as you have some cover to hide behind while you use that healing ability. His other ability, the chain hook, which does 30 points of damage, which isn't a whole lot, is really good with his other sets of weapons. I mean, his primary gun is a massive shotgun that shoots out just junk everywhere, and it's really cool concept. It only has 4 shots, so you definitely want to make sure that you land each shot because his reload time is also not that good. I think it takes 1.5 seconds to reload. But using his chain hook ability to pull enemies in towards you and then hitting them with that shotgun up close is basically just the go-to combo with Roadhog. And there's a couple other things that you can do to do even more damage that I'll talk about in a second. And then let's talk about his ultimate. His ultimate is called Whole Hog, which is just so cool. It lasts for 6 seconds, and in total you do 5,000 damage over those 6 seconds, which is quite a bit. But it's not very good at distance, so you definitely want to be either really up close to enemies, and even then it's not always the easiest to get a kill. It is good at pushing enemies into maybe a ditch or pushing them off the side of the map and killing them that way if they they can't recover or something. And it's also good if you're pushing up against a wall or into a corner or something like that. But every time you hit somebody with his Whole Hog ability, they get pushed away, so you're constantly pushing them farther and farther back, and as a result doing less and less damage because it's a shotgun and your pellets aren't hitting them nearly as often when they're at a distance. So anyway, let's talk about his primary gun. It's called Scrap Gun, and it's just such a cool concept. Every time he reloads it, he throws a huge just pile of scrap into the back of it, which is it's just so cool. And it only has 4 shots, and you shoot about 1 shot per second. So and you can also use your right click, which is somewhat similar to your left click, except it goes at a farther distance. And you'll see it kind of explodes halfway there, and then when it explodes, it kind of splits out into a normal shotgun spread. But it does less damage before it explodes. So if you're up close, it's a really bad idea to use the alt fire because you're just going to do 50 damage if you hit them. Whereas if you use the left click, you're going to do somewhere between 4 to 9 damage per pellet, and you get 25 pellets per shot. So that's about, on average, I'd say like 150 damage at a somewhat reasonable distance. Obviously, distance is going to make a huge factor in how many pellets you hit. Is also going to make a huge determination on how much damage you do. But I'd say somewhere between 100 and like 250 maybe, or 220 damage is what you'll do every second, which is really good. That's quite a bit of damage. But obviously, if you're at a distance, you can use his right click, or I guess medium range. He's obviously not a long range character. He's definitely suited for close to medium range. You want to keep people kind of within that grab range of your hook, because it's just such a good ability to hook somebody in. Find the character that you want to target, and typically you want to go for the high value character. Somebody like any of the healers, somebody that can revive. Who's Mercy? There we go. That's what I was trying to think of. Mercy, or like Zenyatta, or Genji, Tracer, Bastion. some of those characters that have lower health, but if you can find and single out one of those characters, especially a Mercy, I would say, because Mercies are so good, especially in the game mode and the gameplay you guys are watching. That's what I kept trying to do, is go after the Mercy. At least always go after the healer first, because they're always going to revive and just continue to heal the damage that you're doing anyway. So anyway, it's great for taking out those types of characters, those high value targets, and you can do almost instantaneously if you can land the hook grab, or the chain hook, sorry. Because if you do the chain hook, you pull them in, and then you do your normal left click, which is going to do it, or I guess if you're on console, your right trigger, your normal primary fire. You do a ton of damage there, and then instantly after that, do a melee attack. You're going to do even more damage. And another combo you can do is before you do the chain hook, is do a right click if they're at the perfect distance where it's going to explode into a normal shotgun spread. Then do the chain hook, then do a normal left click, and then a melee, and you do I think 350 damage. It's crazy. So you can do a lot of damage if you can get those combos down, and you can take out high value targets pretty easily, which I think is one of his main ways of playing the game, one of his key assets, and one of the best ways you can play Roadhog. He's not a traditional tank where he's absorbing all the damage, because he doesn't have a shield. Somebody like Reinhardt or Winston, they can drop a shield and absorb a ton of damage and be that tank character, whereas in some ways you could say Roadhog is a tank because of his ability to heal himself and his large amount of health, but he just plays it a little bit differently than I think some of the other characters, which is interesting. And you definitely want to use your environment when you're playing Roadhog, because he's not good at a distance, and you don't want to encounter more than one enemy at a time. Obviously, I mean, that's just the same for any character. But you also want to be able to use the cover and maybe find this is actually a perfect example. This kind of area that I was controlling in this map, you could pull somebody in and be safe from enemies trying to save that person, and you can just take them out one by one essentially. So you want to find an area like that, and also maybe somewhere that's close to teammates or close to a health pack or something like that. It also depends on what game mode you're playing too. If you're not playing defense, then maybe you're not playing a defensive position like that where you can just continue to retreat. So anyway, the other thing is that with chain hook, you can also interrupt people's ultimates, which is in some ways kind of lame. I've had it happen a couple times. I think you can do it to, I know you can do it to Reinhardt's, and I know you can do it to Pharah's. There might be a couple other characters that you can interrupt with. But yeah, if you can grab somebody while they're using their ultimate, then bam, they're dead. So anyway, enough about Roadhog. That's all I really want to say about him. I think he's a great character. I've enjoyed playing him. I'm definitely going to continue to play as him and see if I can continue to be better with him. And I'm going to continue to play him even with the new competitive game modes that are coming out. Hopefully today. I think they're actually in beta right now. And I tried to opt into the beta and play it, but I'm getting server errors, so it's not really working out for me. But once that competitive game mode is available, or maybe it's even a set of game modes, I'm not even sure, to be honest. I'm going to be playing that a lot because I really want to work on a skill ranking system like that. And I really love that in some of the old FPS that I played, and I think it's a cool system, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'll probably do some videos that talk about the competitive nature. I don't even really know what extent they're going to be supporting the game in that. Are they going to have online tournaments and brackets and stuff to enter? Is there going to be clan or grouping options in game? I don't really even know. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna what they're gonna offer. I also wanted to hear from you guys. Have you guys been playing Overwatch? I know it has a ton of people playing, and most of you guys are first-person shooter players, since I know most of you are here from Battlefield. Which, by the way, I will be playing Battlefield 100%. I'm super psyched for that game. There's a number of other FPS games that I'm excited for as well. But right now, I'm really heavily focused on Overwatch, as you can tell, as it brought me back to making YouTube videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.